Our first place winner, Najla Sadek, is no stranger. Najla is a senior studying computer science and engineering with a minor in applied mathematics at the Maroun Sam'an Faculty of Engineering and Architecture. A Rhodes Scholar finalist, accomplished musician and singer, Najla first introduced herself to me as a high school student, telling me she was coming to AUB. She's also held competitive internships in CERN, BMW, and InMind.ai. She's earned top placements in global competitions such as NASA's Space Apps and the Amazon Industry Program. Her essay, The Art of Being Many, calls for a new renaissance built on curiosity, creativity, and interdisciplinarity. She posits that if AUB continues to champion such multifaceted thinkers, a new Arab golden age can indeed be launched from here and become a lived reality. We will post all three of these, and I want to encourage everyone to go to the site and read all three essays online. They're truly thoughtful and quite excellent. They remind us that renewal begins with people who question, imagine, and build, and that the art of writing is not yet lost to ChatGPT. Please welcome Najla Sadek to the podium to read her prize-winning essay.
Good afternoon. In fact, I was supposed to present a musical performance today. However, life had other plans for me, and I'm very grateful and honored to be standing here and have the opportunity to read my essay entitled, The Art of Being Many. Every civilization reaches a moment when it must decide whether to merely survive or to begin again. The Arab world today stands at such a precipice, a region suspended between memory and possibility. The American University of Beirut, since its founding in 1866, has stood as a steadfast beacon amid these tides, nurturing generations who dared to believe that intellect could be the instrument of renewal. This year's Founders' Day question asks how AUB can spark a new golden age of progress in the region, a rebirth of equality, creativity, and purpose. My answer is simple, yet far-reaching, by supporting Renaissance people, individuals who embody curiosity, moral imagination, and interdisciplinary thought. They are not confined by their major, nor by their time. They are the minds who weave science with art, logic with empathy, invention with identity. To explain what it means to be such a person and how AUB can nurture them, I will answer through the very letters of the word Renaissance, a word that once defined an age of rebirth and may yet define ours. R, reawakening the spirit. Every Renaissance begins not in institutions, but in individuals. To reawaken the spirit is to reignite the audacity to wonder. The Arab world's first golden age was not built upon power, but upon curiosity. Scholars who studied the cosmos as reverently as scripture. AUB keeps that legacy alive each time it allows a student to question, to imagine, to be intellectually restless. Supporting Renaissance minds means safeguarding that inner spark, the quiet conviction that knowledge still matters. E, education beyond boundaries. Renaissance minds flourish where education transcends boundaries. AUB's strength lies in its confluence of disciplines. Engineers who recite poetry, doctors who debate philosophy, artists who code. The Renaissance person resists intellectual compartmentalization. She seeks synthesis. By investing in cross-faculty collaboration, interdisciplinary minors, and creative research spaces, AUB transforms learning from a curriculum into a constellation, one where every idea reflects another's light. N, nurturing the whole human. To nurture Renaissance people is to cultivate equilibrium between intellect and empathy, ambition and humility. The university's mission has never been to produce specialists alone, but citizens who think ethically and act humanely. The next golden age will not be led by technocrats, but by complete minds, individuals who can design a system and still listen to a story. AUB nurtures them through service learning, mentorship, and a campus culture that prizes compassion as deeply as competence. A, art and science in dialogue. The Renaissance was a dialogue, not a division. Leonardo's sketches were geometry rendered poetic, his inventions, art in motion. AUB continues that tradition whenever art and science converge, when an AI engineer composes music or a medical student studies color theory. Supporting Renaissance people means funding such intersections, design studios adjacent to labs, concerts inspired by generative machine learning, exhibitions born from data. Progress is most enduring when beauty and reason coexist. I, innovation rooted in identity. A Renaissance detached from its roots is mere imitation. The Arab word's renewal must arise from its own soil, language, and legacy. At AUB, innovation is grounded in identity, research on Arabic natural language processing, sustainable architecture echoing Levantine courtyards, public health campaigns framed in cultural context. To support Renaissance people is to affirm that modernity and memory can inhabit the same breath. S, scholarship as a service. Knowledge gains dignity only when used in service of others. The Renaissance person translates discovery into compassion, transforming equations into solutions and research into relief. AUB's motto, that they may have life and have it more abundantly, is not a relic. It is a moral imperative. Supporting Renaissance people means ensuring that every act of scholarship carries an echo of humanity. S, synergy of minds. No single intellect, however brilliant, can reignite a civilization. The Renaissance was collective, a symphony rather than a solo. AUB embodies the synergy through its centers, clubs, and collaborative initiatives. When medicine meets data science and ethics meets engineering, something extraordinary happens. Problems once deemed intractable became to yield to imagination. The university's role is to keep convening such minds until brilliance becomes communal. A, awakening wonder. Wonder is the nucleus of discovery. The Renaissance person looks at the ordinary and sees design, at chaos and sees pattern. AUB sustains this wonder by allowing experimentation, by treating curiosity not as a distraction, but as devotion. In a world jaded by instant answers, the courage to ask why may be the purest form of resistance. N, new dawn for the Arab world. From Ras Beirut, dawn has always felt closer, a meeting of land, sky, and sea, where ideas find horizon. The new Arab golden age will not begin with policy, but with people shaped by places like AUB. Thinkers who carry rigor and imagination into ministries, startups, classrooms, and clinics. Each graduate is a filament of that rising light, proof that education remains the region's most enduring infrastructure of hope. C, creativity as courage. To create amid uncertainty is to defy despair. Renaissance people practice courage as creation, composing, coding, composing again after failure. AUB can sustain this courage through incubators, art residencies, and research freedom. spaces that protect risk-takers from the paralysis of perfection. Creativity is not the absence of fear, but the insistence that something beautiful can still be built. E. Enlightenment reborn. To be a Renaissance person is to live as though knowledge and conscience can still coexist. The Renaissance approach asks us to think broadly, act ethically, and dream audaciously. By supporting such people, AUB does more than educate, it enlightens. It restores the ancient belief that learning can redeem, that intellect can humanize, that thought can heal. The golden age we seek will not arrive through grand decrees or sudden miracles. It will begin quietly in the mind of a student who dares to merge disciplines, to question, to care. To support Renaissance people is to invest in that quiet beginning, to recognize that the future is not an abstract era, but a generation being formed today. I have witnessed this spirit within myself and around me. As a student who studies engineering while performing classical music, I have learned that reason and beauty are not opposites, but allies. AUB has taught me that innovation without empathy is hollow, and that art without thought is incomplete. To live as a Renaissance person is to think deeply, feel boldly, and serve generously. If AUB continues to champion such whole, curious, and courageous minds, then the Arab world's rebirth will not be a wistful echo of the past. It will be a living, luminous present, a Renaissance already unfolding on the hills of Ras Beirut. Thank you for listening.